We need to talk to you about Speed Tech Creation. Welcome to the Thunder Road Show, the Thursday night episode.
What's up, y'all?
How you doing? Got my esteemed colleague, Bob Galetti here. I'm your host, Doug Johnson. We have a exciting show for tonight.
Live from Westside Chevrolet.
Absolutely. So we're brought to you by Da Vinci Carburetors, Speed Tech, Speed Labs. I always say Speed Tech. Speed Lab Creations, who's Michael Cullen Cole's employer at the moment. Jose Jimenez and those guys down there do an amazing job. And then I ran out of USB ports. I got to find a USB port for my. See, I got that little. This is my little robot. You know, remember the show? The show that was called. Number 5 is alive or whatever.
Johnny Five?
Johnny Five is alive. Short Circuit. That's my imitation. Short Circuit right here. This looks like a little. Johnny Number 5. I'm dating myself because that's an old movie.
It is. So who did you say thank you to? You said Nitrous Outlet.
No, you said Nitrous Outlet just now.
Phil's Trailer Sales.
Phil's Trailer Sales. Mosier Engineering. So, if you come to Westside Chevrolet, $15,000 off the trucks, dude.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. $15,000 off. So come get a Chevy truck. We got a badass ZR2 here, which we've already done a walk around. Michael Cole did a walk around. This thing's. Oh, there's a Corvette out there? Where's the other camera at? You got to get it charging, dude. Oh, it won't reach. We'll have to get that out here tomorrow, next week on Tuesday.
What's up, Sharon? Sorry we couldn't make dinner.
So the
Kindle?
big news is that Lisa Galetti is on the property.
Heck yeah.
She needs to do an interview.
Sit up straight, the boss is here.
Yeah, she looks sharp tonight in her black leather boots and jacket.
I asked her, I said, are you going to be on the show?
She needs to come talk about all this hardware and where she's going to put it.
Yeah.
Because you're running out of shelf space at the house.
That's true. We're going to have to reorganize a little bit.
Lisa, can we do a shelf in the living room with all of the hardware with the...
It's in there. Believe me, we had it built.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Because the last time I was out, it was in your room. It was in your master bedroom.
We were renovating. I had it all in there. Yeah, that's right. I just had it all stacked in one spot.
Well, it's amazing. So congratulations. You went to the Division 4 NHRA banquet and received your 2017 Top Sportsman Championship.
Yep.
Award.
Pretty badass.
Dude, that's a badass award.
Really nice.
I was at the Top banquet, and Steve Wiley got his 2017 Pro Mod Championship Award.
They had a nice banquet over there.
They did. It was at Texas Motorplex, and I'm honored to say that they brought me back for all 10 races in 2018 for Top. So starts March 24th, and that is the opening race of the season, and it is the first Top race at Extreme Motorsports Park in Dallas that Clyde Scott built. An amazing facility. The pictures are amazing. And Galen and Celeste Smith are the general managers of that facility. New drag strip going in Texas. Good news.
That's going to be an awesome place. I tell you what, the pictures, like you say, are really looking great.
It's built by a couple of Pro Mod racers.
Right. And when you have a track built by and run by racers, you know that it's going to be racer friendly for sure. Man, we got a guy. Hey, what's up, y'all? We got a guy watching from the Philippines.
Oh, congrats!
Hey, share this deal. Let's get some shit going here.
So we're gonna have Brian Lohnes on, who's gonna be at Lights Out 8 with me. I'm gonna be there with him. Let me put it this way, because Brian Lohnes and Lee Sebring are the premier consummate professional announcers at Lights Out and No Mercy.
Yeah.
Donald asked me to come down, and I'm going to be there Tuesday through Friday. And we got big news to talk about, but I'm going to get on the mic some with Brian Lowens.
Where is this again?
At Lights Out 9 at South Georgia Motorsports Park.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So I'll be on the mic again over there, courtesy of Donald Long. But let's go down the list. So that's my first race, but I have to leave on a red-eye Friday night and be in Edinburgh, Texas for Saturday, February 17th, the Valentine's Day Massacre. $20,000 to win, small tire race, guaranteed on a Pro Tree, mild prep. So they're doing some different stuff down there. It's not typical no prep race. They're putting on a small tire race. Money's guaranteed by Danny Ybarra, and you know he can cover it. So Jason Cantu is obviously the favorite in his home track in La Victoria. But there's $20,000 guaranteed to win Saturday night, February 17th. And then there's a truck race and then motorcycles too.
Cool.
So we're going to post those flyers on the Thunder Roadshow page, and then we'll share them in the comments below. But go share this because we got a lot of more news. So then I'm going to be doing the wait, I got another date that I got booked for today. So we'll put this one on the page also. This flyer, where's it at? Murillo sent me the flyer. So Murillo's doing an all-Ford race in San Antonio, and it's called Family Foxes and Fords, brought to you by Eat Race Die Productions. Elisa Knoll is part of that, and doing a great job on the productions. Ronnie and Dina Odom run that track. It's Dina's the general manager. Ronnie does some of the house announcing. I was just on the phone with him. They've done some upgrades since Street Outlaws was there to the facility, fixed up the restrooms and stuff, and they're ready for 2018. But this is February 23rd and 24th at San Antonio, and there's classes that are all Ford specific, kind of like Fun Ford was. And Murillo probably ran more Ford specific events than anybody in the known world.
Yeah.
He ran NMRA and Fun Ford for many years. So 5.0 stock block, 8.2 shootout, all-out Ford power, 8th mile only shootout, Modular Madness, naturally aspirated shootout, Modular Madness, modified shootout, Coyote, and New Do stock, naturally aspirated shootout, the Coyote and New Do stock, modified shootout. So those are cool classes for the Mustangs and the Ford powered stuff. The New Do, I think is what it's called, is the different Coyote style 4-valve engine, the one that's the flat plane motor. So we're going to be doing that, and kind of cool since I do the Mod Nationals that I'm going to get to kind of ramp up my season and do some other Ford specific events. And I appreciate Mike Murillo for hiring me to do that. And then so we have the Massacre, the February, Lights Out 8th, and the Valentine's Day Massacre down in Edinburgh, and then Showdown, and then we have the All Fords and Family event. Then I have March 17th, Showdown Under the Lights at Houston Motorsports Park, and that's Dewey Bowie in them's race that they do every year at TX2K, the weekend that TX2K is in town. So that's kind of the same weekend. March 17th, that's a no prep at the Showdown Under the Lights, Street Kings deal. Remember, we did that last year. It was a really good turnout because of everybody that was in town.
Yep.
And then I got March 24th, the Topma season opener. April 7th, Topma. April 21st, Topma. April 28th, Coffeyville Street Drags. Got that coming up again this year, which is going to be cool. I know Mark Bannert is going to that for sure.
Okay.
Because it's on a real street in Coffeyville, Kansas.
Dan Da Vinci is watching.
Hey, what's up, Dan Da Vinci? So then I got all the other Topma events that month. So the first weekend of the month, Topma will be at Texas Motorplex. The third weekend of the month, they'll be at the Extreme. And then Midnight Drags in Bowling Green, that's put on by Carcraft Magazine, is part of the Summer Nationals car show, where they get like 200 to 250 cars for the car show, and they're combining it with the Summer Nationals. I mean, the Midnight Drags. So it'll be a car show and some big tire and small tire classes in Bowling Green. So
Sweet.
That's kind of wraps up April and my announcing gigs. So it's going to be cool. So we're going to talk to Brian Lohnes. He announced a new show or a new race that they're going to do at Tucson Dragway, and it's I forget what they called it, but it's
it's a $3,000 challenge.
Yeah, like it's kind of like so the 24 hours of lemons is you can only spend a certain amount on your car performance-wise.
Right.
And if they deem that you spent too much on your car, like if, I mean, you can't show up and say, hey, well, this guy gave me a Porsche and you're going to run the road course with it. They can crush your car. Right there on the spot. So if the vote is that you are not in the spirit of the class, they can crush your car. So nobody's going to show up with a car that could possibly get crushed. Well, Brian Lohnes and them are doing let's find out. Let me find out.
What's up, Travis Salter? SalterRacing.com if y'all need any parts. Best place to check.
So he announced this today, and we're going to talk about. Okay, so Roadkill, the Freiberger and Finnegan from Roadkill, which you can see on Motor Trend on Demand or on YouTube. The Hoopty Challenge. I love that name. Hoopty Challenge. We had a buddy that hung out with all of us at Texas Turbo Days called Hoopty Kyle. He was a big old tall dude. He ended up, you remember where Hoopty Kyle went to work? Wasn't he working for MTI for a while and Excessive Performance and all that? And then he went to work for Celine and traveled like Celine Europe or something and got to work. Yeah. And who knows? I think he's an auto mechanic somewhere now. But
cool.
Anyway, so the Hoopty Challenge is 200. Each car that gets invited has to be approved. They get invited. They get $250 just for showing up.
Really?
So they get paid to show up, and the winners of the 5 classes get $3,000 each. Plus, there's another $3,000 for the winner of an overall shootout.
Okay.
The race classes will be crazy. Crazy LS swaps, junkyard turbos, nitrous bombs. You know, Beater Bomb from Kansas needs to go out and run that.
Yeah.
Truck and minivan madness and Frankensteins.
Cool.
If I had time to get the wagon running with the 307 and a couple of like Power Stroke turbos mounted like where the mufflers were, that would be a cool car for that class. But at Tucson Dragway. So man, they just keep having badass events at Tucson Dragway.
They do. Jim Hughes does a great job, man.
Yeah.
I want to move that over so we can do the Mosier spot and see it.
Yeah, right? Hey, but thank you for bringing the hardware.
I
I can't believe that you even had to ask if that was...
There was a little more, actually.
Yeah, talk about your team owner getting some hardware.
My team owner got the Crew Chief of the Year award, and I got Driver of the Year award for Top Sportsman, so we pretty much cleaned up everything.
Driver of the Year and points champion?
Yep.
So... how would you have a driver of the year that wasn't the points champion, the winner of the
It's a popular vote. It's basically by popular vote by the other drivers.
Has there ever been someone that got driver of the year that didn't win the points championship?
Yeah.
Really? Was it you?
Yeah.
How did you pull that off? Rookie season or something?
Got it last year. I'm back to back on that.
Nice.
I think I got 3 of those. 3 or 4 of them now. 3.
I guess maybe you just did he kill it on the tree, Lisa, and he was just knocking the tree down all year long. Killed it across the board.
Yep.
You just didn't have enough points to win the championship. How was the points championship last year?
Last year I finished
In 2016.
I didn't run the whole year.
Oh.
Yeah, it wasn't first, so it didn't matter.
Y'all just didn't run enough events or something, maybe?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Cool.
Okay, let's see if this Moser deal will play. Uh-oh, what happened?
I cannot get on...
Oh, that's not it.
I can't get on the book face on my laptop for some reason.
Really?
That's not good.
Oh, I have to go to YouTube for that. I'm sorry, y'all.
I got iPhone... Apple stuff trying to pop up on my computer here because I plugged my phone in for charging purposes. So let me find this Mosier read.
Oh, I have that. I think I have the audio for that, but I don't have your... Well, it won't work through that plug. You're right.
Here we go. So, what all you got going on over there, Bob?
I got it right here, bro. There was a great Mosier instructional video on Facebook today that I shared on the Thunder Road page that was pretty cool. I don't know if y'all caught it. We talk about installing gears and such. Here we go. Get her down.
Oh, where's the volume?
I thought you were going to do the read.
Okay, I'll do the read. Mosier Engineering is a proud sponsor of the Thunder Road Show, and we want you to see what they have to offer the sportsman racer. Mosier is a company that has always supported sportsman racing with a strong contingency program, and they understand the sacrifices and commitment a competitive racer goes through to be successful. Mosier is a family-owned company that has been around for 4 decades and made up of 3 generations of racers that are committed to excellence, and they offer standard 2-day turnaround on custom-made-to-order axles, housings, and center sections. They also offer optional 24-hour turnaround on their products, including most custom-made-to-order parts. Mosier Engineering delivers when others can't. So whether you're a weekend enthusiast or a serious points racer, Mosier has the highest quality products for all your race applications and will deliver when it's crunch time. Visit them on the web at mosierengineering.com or call 260-726-6689 and talk to their knowledgeable and friendly technicians. Remember, you will finish first with Mosier Engineering. And I have my Mosier shirt on, and you have your Mosier hat on.
Sweet.
And we got more Mosier banners coming for the background. Thanks to Jeff over at Mosier Engineering, who is, they're coming on for 2018. So they got stuff in the mail for us, like hoodies.
Sweet.
And more caps. So we
All
appreciate Mosier. Speaking of Mosier Engineering, a Mosier Engineering dealer, J.D. Campbell, Pro 1 Autosports out of Arlington, was out at getting ready for Lights Out 9, and he was at Denton with his new plate, Stinger 3 plate on, took the fogger completely off, was able to drop 100 pounds off the car, so he weighs, but he's still 40 pounds heavy. He's 3,140, he can be 3,100. Found a rule that made sense. Dave Vassar went and took a plate off the shelf, did a little bit of tweaking to it, and it's a dry system, and he went 450 off the trailer.
Sweet.
Then went a 447 at 158 with a 111 60 foot, and then last race of the day went a 445 at 158 when they really glued the entire track down.
Mm-hmm.
And it was probably on a regular night at Lights Out 9 would probably be a low 40.
Okay.
Because he slowed down on the big end a little bit because it was so sticky. They went ahead and sprayed the whole length of the track. But hey, to go a 47, last year he was running 50s and couldn't get in the 40s, and
2330, JD says.
2330. Wow.
That's what he had to weigh.
So
that's what he did weigh.
Yeah.
So what's he, 30 over?
He's 30 over. He needs to
Dude,
lose about 25 to be a little bit.
Did y'all see results from testing last night? Kenny posted Kevin Cram has got that Ranger pickup with an NRC small block in it. I guess he can weigh 2,300 also.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know what that was.
992 60 foot.
Is that X car?
I think it is. Yes, sir.
No way. None of those X cars are going 990s. That's got to be a RVW deal.
No.
It's a what now? Ranger with a...
It's a Ranger pickup.
And what's
Look it up. Kenny posted it today. Curtis Reese posted. There's a video of it.
Yeah.
Dude, it's awesome. Looks good.
Dude, that's crazy if he's running that in X.
Now, obviously, a small block, he's not going to be able to run the back half like the big blocks. But, dude, if he's running that kind of front half, they better watch out.
Yeah.
Anyway,
crazy.
that was cool to see.
Does that got a hopped up by Hubbard tune in it?
Of course it does.
Yeah.
Speaking of hopped up by Hubbard, did you see the post he made about the egg rolls? 700.
They're bringing 700 egg rolls.
700. He brought 600 last year.
Glad.
Every year he brings 100 more.
When's he going to stop? When is Mom going to not be able to make enough egg rolls? She's going to be making them all year long.
Dude,
They're going to be frozen from February. March 1st, Mom's going to start rolling egg rolls.
Yep.
Wow. I'm so glad that I get to go this year.
Yeah.
We had a blast last year. We're going to have to do that again where we get everybody down there and do some live shows from...
Henry Kendall says it's a tube chassis Ranger. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's not running X. He must not be.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it was on radial, so pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
Maybe he's going to run Outlaws 632 or something.
Maybe so.
So,
lots of things going on. There's a no prep race at HMP this weekend that Nick Kalergis and Trouble Troy are hosting.
yeah, Texas Heavy Hitters. It's their first deal that they're going to do. What's up, Dennis Rogers? I was planning on maybe trying to go out there at some point, depending on what my work schedule is with my stuff, and checking that out because it looks like a cool deal. But we'll see what my schedule does to me.
Yeah,
And of course, Super Bowl is Sunday.
Yeah, Super Bowl coming up. Well, who you got? I'm gonna have to go with our boy Fletcher Cox.
Man, I would love to see the Eagles get it. I don't know if they.
I don't really care.
I don't know if they.
Otherwise, for the Eagles, except that Fletcher Cox is a drag radio team owner, and the dude is super cool. And we've had him on the show, and he's a friend of the Thunder Road Show.
Yeah.
And if he wasn't so busy getting ready for the Super Bowl, we could have probably had him on again.
Yeah, we'll have him on maybe after lights out or something.
Yeah.
He'll be done by then.
Yeah.
What's up, John Wilson, Kevin Singleton?
John Wilson of Royal Purple Raceway.
Yep.
Kenjo
Kelly is watching.
Kenjo Kelly. So let's discuss this.
Todd Stone.
I may have to do a restart on my computer. I'm sorry, I'm not
Clifford
seeing
Anderson.
any of the comments and stuff. But the Kenjo has accepted Stevie Fast call out of 2 on $10,000. So Kenjo says he's going off the trailer in his new Radio vs. the World car. We have a picture of that.
Yeah. I saw he posted. You put that on the
group text. Yeah. So we're gonna post that on the page, but I can't.
In his brand new car,
untested.
And he's gonna run RVW.
Yeah.
And he's gonna do that Friday night deal. So by then he'll have some testing in.
He says he's going off the trailer.
But they're gonna test starting Tuesday.
Yeah. So
Dan
that's
Da Vinci
just,
says
anyway,
I run Moser actually.
I'm sure he's just talking smack, but he's going to run Stevie Fast. He gets the back tires.
Yep. So they can't count that as a qualifying run. If he gets the back tires.
No, so Kenjo's going to forego a qualifying session run.
Maybe they'll have him come around and do it after, at the end of the night. That way it doesn't count for either of them.
We'll see. That's going to be up to Donald Long, I'm sure.
Right.
If Kenjo's qualified, I think he won't care.
Right.
Just see if he gets. It's the last qualifying session of.
That was
Friday
a great
night.
video.
Yeah, he called any of the Sesame Street boys that have been out there talking about Sesame Street Outlaws. That was hilarious. So.
So Kenjo has accepted the challenge. I haven't seen that posted anywhere.
It was Donald Long made a post about it, and
you think he can get there?
Dude, he's got a Pro Mod Mustang that was built specifically for Radio vs.
He's got enough to get there.
With a 481X. Yeah, I think so.
What's up, Tim Thomas?
He had the guys that wire all the Proline cars like Faraday's and stuff, wire this car.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
those guys do such great work.
Yeah.
There's no one better.
Yeah.
He's got the best stuff there is. What's up, Aaron Anderson?
I'm going to restart this. We've got to get to this.
You're going to restart it 42 times or what?
I haven't restarted it yet, but it doesn't show that I can any IP address. They changed the internet here, and sometimes this piece of junk laptop, I logged in, it shows that I have internet, and I have to do this Skype interview with Brian Lohnes and Stephanie Sapp. Stephanie Sapp is part of...
Okay. You think Brian Lohnes will talk about Leah Pritchett and her? She's got a Mopar deal and an Army deal. She'll be, kind of part time and that.
She's with Don Schumacher Racing. But
yeah.
I'm curious to what is up with is Papa John's not going to be.
Was not mentioned in any of the press releases.
Yeah. So are they done with NHRA promotion?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it just hasn't been announced yet. Maybe they're putting together some other dates with them. Not sure.
So, anyway, we appreciate everybody. Go share this. So we'll talk to Brian Lowens, kind of get what he's got going on in the world of Brian Lowens with all of his filming. We're going to try to get to Chuck Seitsinger. He's the race master of the Valentine's Day Massacre in Edinburgh. So he's flying down to do the chip draw and the pairings and get to, talk to the fans and all that stuff. So they hired a celebrity star from Street Outlaws, Chuck Seitsinger, to come down. That's a really cool deal. Flying him down between filming in South Carolina and all the other filming stuff that he has to do for Pilgrim. Because, he's the host of the new show that airs starting March 7th called Street Outlaws No Prep Kings, which I announced 3 of those events. And they're going to, he's got to do all of the sit-down interviews and explain what happens round per round. Like we saw with the Armageddon, Chief was doing that. Well, Chuck does it for the new show. So every time he's doing that right now. So he's doing some of that interview stuff. We're trying to catch him in between.
Okay. We'll just play that by ear and see how it goes.
So we appreciate everybody tuning in on Thursday night. We usually do the show on Tuesday night, but Brian had a tummy ache.
He was sick, man.
Yeah, he was definitely sick.
I wasn't feeling good either.
Yeah, well, you had a tooth pulled, right?
Yeah, I had some dental work done.
Where'd they pull your tooth?
At the dentist office. I had some dental work, and I wasn't feeling up to it, so I was kind of glad that Brian wasn't either. So I needed a couple more days to recover.
Yeah, because when I talked to you on the phone, you were out of it.
Hydrocodone. I was dodo on the couch, I think, when you called.
Yeah. So kind of worked out, but Brian did have a really bad case of Montezuma's revenge or food poisoning or something going on, and so we got
Brian Lohnes coming up. We're going to talk to him.
Stephanie Sapp, talk about Lights Out 9. Testing continues. A lot of guys testing at HMP last night. Out there, I saw some video from Curtis Reese. Saw Lamar Swindle out there running good, and a few other guys. So Lamar Swindle, that beautiful. I guess is he going to run that in X?
I am not sure.
Or I don't think you can run a Pro Charger in limited.
I don't know.
There's a beautiful drag radial car that he's built. Small tire deal, drag radial, whatever.
He really does a great job putting his stuff together. It's always top notch.
Yeah, the new Gold Dust. And did you see the picture that he posted of the Gold Dust from 15 years ago?
Yeah.
I loved that car.
That was cool.
Because that car looked like he cruised it up from, the Sonic Cruise.
I think you should put those stripes like that car had on the new car.
Yeah, like they were like a burgundy maroon stripe.
Orange or something, wasn't
it was burgundy on top of that gold.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah. And it had a real 2810.5 on it, or something. I think he'd run a 2910 or something on it. But, dude, that thing was bad. I remember when at Navasota, were you there the day it did the big wheel stand?
Oh, yeah.
Stood up on the bumper at Navasota and, was the cover photo for Hot Rod Gossip for, 4 years.
Yeah. He ran really good back then for what he had, and like I say, Lamar does a good job preparing a nice car.
Had a couple of really clean Novas and stuff. Dad had a really clean Nova. They would run Outlaw 632 and stuff. But so I'm trying to get. Now I'm going to re-log into Chevy. So the computer restarted. So I have to have internet to do the Skype. So.
Oh, that's what we're trying to do. We're about to have to use my Skype, huh?
Okay.
So while we're waiting, we're going to thank Westside Chevrolet once again.
Absolutely.
Phil's Trailer Sales, Mosier Engineering, and Nitrous Outlet.
It's telling me
you went up to Nitrous Outlet for a little while the other day, huh?
Yeah, I went up there and got us a new banner and hung out and took some cool pictures of they have a new plate that is a fogger that sits down in the intake called the Kraken.
Okay.
Which is sick. Like you jet it on the jets are down in the plenum.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. And the name, the Kraken, is really cool.
That's one thing about Nitrous Outlet is those guys are always on top of research and development, looking for the next best thing, and all their products are top notch.
Yeah.
So when you're buying from them, you're getting stuff that's made in the USA.
Absolutely. And dude, the best information instructional videos.
Yeah.
And in fact, when I was there, I got to talk to the new video guy, and that puts together the badass videos that they put out and the live streams and about going live instead of using a phone. And And so Brian may end up going out there one day and showing them. We might end up just doing a Tuesday night show from Waco.
Yeah.
There live in the Nitrous Outlet studio and show them what a live production takes to do. I mean, if
what's up, Dean Baker?
Michael Cole puts it up here, posts pictures on his page a lot. We need to post some on the Thunder Road Show. Yeah. Michael, will you take a picture of the setup with all the equipment that it takes to put on the Thunder Road Show? This is not just a tripod holding a phone.
Hey, Kirk Peters, how you doing?
Because we have mics and PA system and all this stuff and these big high-dollar cameras. And you don't need the high-dollar camera that Brian has, but it's a sure nice to have.
Makes it better.
Especially when you can do wide-angle stuff and you can do – then we have a second camera where we do the walk-arounds with Michael Cole. And so, it takes –
you want to go to Waco?
I want to go to Waco. And
wow.
We'll do walk-arounds.
Show budget must be blossoming.
Yeah, right? We have to get everybody there. But so let me open up Skype. Brian told me that he needed 5 minutes.
20 minutes ago?
No, 27. So let me get
27 minutes ago?
No. At 7:27, so it's 7:31. We're not quite 5 minutes.
Okay.
So trying to get Skype to come up now. Oh wait, let's put it down here. Gonna go big. So Brian Lohnes.
Dan Da Vinci runs Moser axles.
Dude, and he did a huge wheel stand at Street Outlaws filming that everybody's going to see.
That was so freaking cool.
And small tire, and he, does a gigantic.
Pam is watching also.
So Brian's putting the kids down. He's going to text me in a couple. So
sweet.
Brian Lohnes doesn't get to do the dad thing very often because he's
on the road so much.
Dude, like 36 or 40 weekends out of the month.
Golly.
I mean, that's my goal. Right now, I have 29 dates booked, and I'm counting them as if I could do a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's 3 dates because I could work even if it's the same event.
Sure.
So my goal for 2018 is to get to 40.
Okay.
40 dates. That leaves about 12 weekends. There's 52 weeks in a year. So is there 53 weekends in a year? Because you have one before and after. It depends on. Lisa, you should be able to tell us this. You're smart. So it depends on if you start on a weekend or if you start on a. If it depends on if you start on a weekend or if you start on a weekday. So somebody needs to count the weekends.
Yeah, somebody count, and Doug will give you.
So there's at least
a prize.
No, I don't want you to have to count that, but
no,
don't do it. But somebody in the comments can do it. I guarantee you. Somebody probably Melissa Carter, she'll do it just because she's like, I got to know this. Is there 52 weekends or 53 weekends in January? Because there's 52 weeks. We know that.
Yep.
Hey, GTS. You know what that means? Google that shit. So, Brian Lohnes coming up in a minute. Going to talk about all kinds of good stuff with Brian.
Kirk Peters says they run Moser axles. Did you see they put metal quarters and
No, they built a new car.
No, they put panels on the car.
They told me they built a new 55.
They posted pictures.
Yeah, it's a steel roof and quarter car.
Maybe they're building another car, but they posted pictures of steel roof and quarter panels that they put on their car, and they said that it was a hot rod body, which closely resembles stock body lines, so that the panels fit, number one, and number two, because it was a hot rod body and not an actual race body, they actually lost weight putting the panels on. They posted it on Facebook. Kirk did.
Okay, so let's do this. Well, Stephanie Sapp says, let's piss on Brian. She's got to put kids to work. She's a school teacher, has to be work at 7, so she's ready.
Get her on here.
So
if she's ready to go, let's rock and roll.
Watch it. Brian will call me.
Brian will
Okay,
crack open a
Stephanie,
beer.
we're going to call you. We're going to Skype you right now.
It's a mix of new car and panels, Kirk Peters said.
Okay, mix of new car and panels.
Okay, so I guess I thought it was the same car. I don't know how many they have.
Stephanie, are you there?
I'm here.
Look at you. How are you doing tonight? Wait, we don't have sound.
No. Hear me?
Yeah, kind of in and out. Are you there?
Yep. Let me see if I can back. How about now?
Okay, cool. Yeah, maybe just took Skype a minute to catch up. For some reason, I don't have... You can't see me, though, can you?
No, I can't.
It's okay. It's probably better that way.
It's probably better that way.
That's okay.
I got my webcam plugged in, but it's not lighting up. This thing may have taken a crap. Or maybe there's a button that I got to push.
Maybe there. Do you have your video button on?
Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're always
Your
telling
video
people-
is turned
There you
on.
are.
Well,
There you go. You're gone again.
oh, Is
You're
that
back.
better? Oh, you can see me? Can you see Bob? My
No,
cousin?
no.
Can you see him now? This
No.
thing's not lighting up.
No,
Oh, it's
it's
just me. So
using
you're
it as
just
a computer.
you're just seeing me
That's
straight.
okay.
Okay, that's cool. Well,
It's
hey,
probably better that way.
welcome to the Thunder Road Show. How are you doing?
You know, I am so excited that finally, I cannot believe after so long that I'm finally being recognized for what I do. Because, Doug, I'm telling you, I am like the wizard behind the curtain of
Oh.
Duck X Production.
Oh yeah, you're definitely the Wizard of Oz. And dude, I saw it firsthand in the tower how busy you stay between the kids and all the stuff you have to do with putting on an event for a week. And I actually saw you almost bust some old man's ass who was putting hands on you at No Mercy 8.
Yeah, he did. I did pretty much take him out because nobody's going to touch me. But, you know, you got to keep the starting line clear. You got to keep everybody safe.
Absolutely, and that's why y'all created the VIP area, and
That is correct.
that people could pay and get up in this, and that's amazing. And it's going to be 30% higher again than it was 30% higher last time at No Mercy.
It was. We try to make it better each time for our guests so that they have a better experience each time that they come so that they want to keep coming back. Once you go VIP, you can't go back.
Yeah, the premier drag radial event in the world twice a year at South Georgia Motorsports Park, and you've been a part of it since day one. I mean, you've got to do, this is like your second interview of the night, isn't it?
It is, actually. It is. And it's, I can't express how excited I am about Lights Out 9 coming. We have the baddest of the bad coming. I was doing tech cards today in the middle of my planning period at school. I've got 75 tech cards just for Radial Versa World, and I'm worried that's not even going to be enough. It's going to be amazing, and I'm telling you, people have got to get there because they are going to see history happen, and I guarantee you, Wade Rich is going to set the world record with a 3.69 or better.
Oh, I know it's going to happen. I have a feeling, and I mean, with the Golden Gorilla already going 72 last weekend, and everybody's going to be just it's just going to be a madhouse. And Lights Out is always the best. My first experience last year in February, we did the show live from Kenny Hanna a couple of times, and you weren't even able to get over to that because you were so busy doing what y'all do at South Georgia Motorsports Park.
We do. We have the poker tournament on Wednesday night
Billy,
at the
the
Holiday Inn, the Driscoll Sapp poker tournament, free food and drinks that Speed Society sponsors, $1,000 to win.
And how much is the buy-in?
It's a $50 buy-in.
That's not bad at all. And that's Friday night?
No, that's Wednesday night.
Wednesday night.
After qualifying.
Yeah, I may have to get into that. So that week, Bob, we're Skyping in with some cool people from on Tuesday night. I'm going to try to get there early enough that we could Skype in from South Georgia Motorsports Park. But Donald and I worked out a deal where I get to come and get on the mic some again and have fun with those guys and talk about the Sesame Street cars that are coming, because there's quite a few coming this year.
Yeah, we do have quite a few. I know we have, of course, Daddy Dave will be there, Kai Kelly will be there.
Bodie from San Francisco's coming to run the no time stuff.
I did hear that. We've got so many coming. It's going to be an amazing event. Amazing.
Yeah, Reaper's coming. Jerry Bird's calling me while I'm doing my show. That shows you how much of a friend he is. He doesn't even watch the show. But, yeah, it's going to be awesome. The No Time 315 race is going to be off the chain. It was awesome at No Mercy 8 the first time. I mean, really started to build there with Big Country and Little Country working that and getting racers out. So
they did, and they've got the pot. I believe the purse is at $37,000. 16-car field.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. And then you have the nitrous no time car, small block car shootout, I think. Are they doing that this time too?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, very cool. And then, of course, Radio vs. the World. X275 is going to be off the chain. It's going to be good to see the Marinas and everybody back in the house. Kenny Hubbard and J.D. Campbell, all those guys fighting it out. So there's a lot of changes have been made for X275 cars. It's going to be a battle.
Yep, and we also have our DXP 235 in running this time. We have Outlaw 632. We have our index classes, 6.0 and Open Comp. Open Comp is always huge.
Yeah, and limited 275 is growing by leaps and bounds. A lot of my Texas boys will be there running that. Derek Lewis, Michael Hollis, all those guys come run that limited class, and that's a fun class too.
Yep, can't forget Pro 275.
Yeah.
Pro 275 will be there. We also, on Saturday, I will be hosting a bunch of kids' games that Speed Society sponsors. So we have some cash for even the kids to win.
Very cool.
Sweet.
So, big wheel contest, stuff like that, or what you got going on?
No big wheel contest. We'll be doing the three-legged race, a hula hoop contest. I have all kinds of different things that's going on, and I want everybody to know and remember that kids are free, provided there's no mustaches or beards.
Yeah, right. 12 and under. Where do you draw the line?
So Keith Haney won't be competing.
No mustaches, no beard. Keith Haney height will probably work.
That was awesome. They put a drawing of a stick figure that said human size and Haney size. I shared that. That was awesome.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
So where do you find? I see your hair looks great. I know you were getting your hair done today.
I was. Thank you very much.
And then when do you have time to lift? Because you're doing so much with Lights Out 9.
I do that at 4:30 in the morning.
Oh God, you're crazy. Yeah, I'll be driving home from a race at 5:30 in the morning, or 3:30 in the morning here, and she's just getting up.
Wow.
That's how she rolls.
Yeah. Yep. I lift at 4:30 in the morning. I'm at the school by 7. I leave the school at 2:50, 3 o'clock, and then, whatever duty calls, I'm doing it.
Very cool. So
Lee Sebring is watching. What's up, Lee?
What's up, Lee Sebring's going to be in the house with Brian Lohnes. You got, not only do you have a host of famous racers coming in and well-known racers, but you got the best announcers in the world.
Yeah.
And even Brian Lowens and Lee Sebring, and then you have Willie Dogg's coming back, and I'm going to come up there and hang out and talk some smack about Street Outlaws filming, because I got to announce a couple of those. So it's going to be a blast.
All the best are going to be at the best race. That's why.
They are. And you know what? It's the best time. Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Just don't come looking for us. I will be out on my Valentine's dinner because I always miss Valentine's Day, but just make sure you go give Linko Jim a hug.
Yeah.
He'll need it.
Absolutely. And you got extra security so that $6 million don't get stolen from the tower by Billy Driscoll. And
oh, shit.
It's $10 million, actually.
Oh, it's $10 million. It was $10 million that was stolen?
$10 million.
Yeah. It started at what? Originally it was 1,000 that was missing, and now it's up to 10 million.
We're up to 10 million now. It just keeps growing.
Yeah. Poor Billy.
He'll never be able to pay
We love
it back.
the ticket taker, though.
I know, right? I see all y'all's post on Facebook with in Florida with birthday parties and all that stuff, hanging out with the Driscolls.
That's fun.
We do. We have a good time. You know, the Racer family, it's all love.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, cool. I'm excited to be there. You know, it's funny because there's been all this other stuff that goes on in the racing community. And then it's like 2 weeks before Lights Out, everybody's lights out, lights out, lights out. And the buzz starts going and Donald starts posting videos talking shit about everybody. And then here we are and everybody's like, okay, we're going to Lights Out.
Yep. That's the way it works.
Yep.
You know, you got Donald who does he's like the coffee. He's the bitter of Duck X. I'm the cream and the sugar that goes in the coffee to make it sweet.
That is awesome. What a great analogy. But yeah, absolutely. When you're there, it really softens things up because he is kind of brash sometimes. But we love him.
Just a little.
Just a little bit. But what's the best part is when he relaxes a little bit and things are calm and he's up in the tower cutting jokes and talking smack. It's fun.
It really helps too when he's got his baby in his lap, his little JC, when she comes up and sits in his lap, and
it calms his nerves.
He melts.
So I'm excited. Wes Buck's going to be there and he's trying to do. I heard she's shooting for 50 interviews, live stream interviews this week.
He'll pull it off.
Yeah. He got 40-something last time, so his goal is 50 live interviews.
Oh, I'm sure he can do it.
The week of Lights Out 9.
Dude, I'm sure his arm is worn out by the end of that week. Huh?
No, he's built up. He has a contraption at the gym in his little town that works his selfie hand.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm talking shit, but he's probably developed
good.
He's probably developed some muscles where he can do like that, and for 30, 45 minutes, no problem.
Yep.
Cool. Well, he'll definitely make it. Wes is a great guy. We love having him out there for sure.
Yeah. No problem. Yep, absolutely.
I also want to reach out and put some prayers out there for Wade Mooney and his family. He's suffering some serious health issues, and he is our event coordinator up in the tower, and we are not going to be able to have him.
Oh, no. Well, we'll definitely pray for him. We appreciate you mentioning that, and Wade Mooney in our thoughts and prayers. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yep. So anyway, well, hey, we appreciate anything else that you could think of news-wise. So what about this, Stevie? Oh, no.
Let's get serious for a second. It don't matter if Stevie Fast, if you even thought about Street Outlaw, if you ever even thought about watching Street Outlaw, please just backfire, mother effers.
Oh, just forget about him. See, there goes the bitter. The sugar and sweet has to come back.
That's awesome. We got an appearance from Donald Long. Did he hurt you when he pushed you out of the way?
Oh, do you see that?
Golly, what a bully.
That was
But
great.
you see that? The hair, it's still perfect. The shades are still perfect.
Well, hey,
Awesome. Good job.
Good job. Thanks for doing that. That's awesome. I was not expecting that. Donald Long is amazing. Everybody's got to go share this now because that was awesome.
That was great.
It's like he came in like a wrestler, like a Hacksaw Jim Dugan.
Yeah, he did. That's what I thought it was.
Just imagine living with it. Just imagine that.
Oh, gosh. So where are y'all at right now? Are y'all at home in the is this the Duck X Productions Central Command Center? Headquarters? Yeah, world headquarters here.
It is. It's our headquarters. Saturday, I will actually have my National Junior Honor Society students here earning volunteer hours, helping me get the banners ready and the VIP bags ready and getting the show on the road.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, very cool. So holler at some of the sponsors that make Lights Out 9 and Lights Out and Duck X Productions survive.
What is it?
Holler at some of your sponsors. Give some shout-outs to all your sponsors.
Oh, yeah.
There's so
Mickey
many.
Thompson, ATI, Precision Turbo, Quartermax, Team Z.
UPR.
UPR, Induction Solutions.
Nitrous Outlet.
Poly, EFI, Nitrous Outlet, Tommy from MacFab.
Hitman.
Oh my gosh, the list, I could just keep going. We've got ProFab, ProCharger, Race Pack. Oh my gosh, it just keeps going and going. And you see, look at this.
Yeah, the pimp changed hats and lost his coat. It's hot in there, isn't it?
Actually, it's a little chilly. I got my coat on.
Oh, gotcha. Did you give all the jackets away that were supposed to be given away, or still people collecting jackets from No Mercy?
Actually, I think we just shipped the last ones out. No, I don't know. He's looking. No, we don't. I think we got them finally all out. But I do have boxes for this race. Oh, my God.
Oh, look at that. Oh, my
It
God.
never ends. This is my life.
I don't know how you do it. How do you get rest at night? I'm sure wakes up at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I got to go buy a duck helmet, a duck mask.
Freaking
He is up in the middle of the night. He's up and down, and you know what? You learn to live with it. You learn to love it. You do.
That's awesome. Well, another thing, you got Reaper coming to run Radio vs. the World. Says he's going to win the whole thing in his new
I don't
car.
think so.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think so either. You got a brand new car, dude,
so.
and you're not tested yet.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't know for sure yet, because I know we have a huge field coming out for RBW. I think it's going to be the biggest we've ever had in the history.
I'll be surprised if Reaper qualifies.
Yeah, right.
I would like to see Mills take it home again.
Yeah, that would be cool. Dwayne Mills in the Golden Gorilla. Hey, so what do you think about Stevie Fast calling out any Sesame Street outlaw, and Kenjo Kelly, who's now in the filming for all of the new series called Street Outlaws?
Sidestepper that he ain't nobody.
So he's taken the 2 on $10,000 with the back tires race Stevie Jackson called out. That's going to be big.
I can't wait to be right there on the line to watch it, because I will be. That's my job. That's my spot during Radio vs. the World.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people gathered around that last round of qualifying to see what the hell happens if Kenjo can even get down the track.
I don't think he will.
What has Chuck Sidestepper ever done?
Yeah, if you need to get Chuck Seitsinger to a race, that would be cool. He's a good dude. But yeah, we going back to Kenjo, and man, that's gonna be interesting. He says brand new car, brand new Pro Line Stage 4 motor. I mean, you can't just buy success sometimes. We've got to get put some work in.
I'm telling you right now, Stevie is going to gap his ass.
Well, I've known
I
Kenjo for a
agree.
long time. I know he's not going to come out there blind. He's going to have a car that was built by the best for the best. So it's going to be interesting. If he gets some data, it might be, back tires is a big deal. That's almost a car length that he's got, and if they're pretty close in comparison power wise, it's going to be interesting. Who you got, Donald? Stevie or Kenjo?
You know
The duck doesn't talk. He's just kind of
The
quiet.
duck doesn't talk.
You know he's got Stevie.
I know he's got Stevie.
Here, Michael, you need some more tape?
I
So-
definitely got Stevie on that one.
Yeah.
And I got to go with my gut.
Well,
My gut's
I tell you what,
right.
I'm gonna
We went
take.
to a Mike Hill race. My gut was right on a lot of those too.
Yep. Well,
Yep.
you're right there. Okay, so I'll take Kenjo because I'm Team Texas, and he's a boy, one of my boys from way back in the day, and we'll bet we'll wager a gentleman's bet on the starting line for that or something.
All right. I'm down for that.
Cool. We'll determine what to be wagered, but I don't have a lot of money, so we'll just do something cool.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, there he comes. Holly EFI sponsors.
They are a great title sponsor.
Yeah, they are. They are. So, hey, well, thank you so much for coming on. Everybody appreciates all the work that you do, and it's good to see you taking the role and being kind of the second face of the Duck X Productions.
I do my best. It's hard sometimes to put up with this guy, but I do it.
So, have you heard from Erica Enders since your comment on the live feed in the truck?
No, I have not. I have not. Sometimes things just slip. When you have to have a filter all day long in school with 6th graders, and then all of a sudden that filter can be gone,
Yeah.
it just happened. And
Yeah.
it was not meant in a bad way.
But you are pretty, so you can own that. It was funny. I thought it was funny. It got some attention.
I did
Did you
too.
see what she said?
I did not.
She said she's definitely prettier than Erica.
Okay.
And no offense, mate, but hey, it was funny.
I don't think Erica will be
So
mad.
speaking of NHRA racers, Alex Laughlin's coming to race this year, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I do believe.
Speed Society sponsored. He's driving Kyle Hutel's old car that was sold to the guy from who's the guy with the Barracuda from Fort Worth?
Marty Robinson.
Marty Robinson bought it. Yep, and then they got it and they put a new wrap on it. And Alex Laughlin's going to take his first shot at radial racing this week, or coming up in next week.
Hey,
right, next week.
How much was that you wanted to bet?
Oh, look at her! She's whipping out the green. Yeah, we'll take 120.
Kenny Hubbard says Doug has 10 on it.
Yeah, right. I'll put a 20 on it. $20.
That's
Just-
20.
just
That's all
one.
you got?
Yeah, that's all I got. Doug doesn't pay me much when I come to those events, so I'm on my own
I
on the
don't get
betting.
paid either.
I know, right?
What's up,
So
Ty
who's that
Casey?
money going to? That's going to be some prize money for somebody. Is that Duck's gambling money on the starting line?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Stephanie. Well, thanks a lot. Tell the kiddos we said hi in class, and keep up the hard work.
I will, and I'll see you in a couple weeks right up there in the tower.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. All right. Good job. Thanks a lot.
All right,
Appreciate
see you
it.
later.
Bye. It's always good to have a pretty face on the show.
Yeah.
Especially prettier than Donald Long. So that was fun. Everybody go share this. This is going to get the most views we've had in a while. Donald Long making cameo appearances
Yeah, that was awesome.
on
What's
the
up,
Thunder Road Show in costume.
Mark McClaskey, Chris Monahan?
Mark McClaskey's got a new car coming out.
Yeah.
That his son, he's going to be
X275.
driving. He's going to run some 5.0 index. He's going to run some 580 index at Topma. When
I thought they were building
Riley-
an X car.
Rotten.
Or they're gonna run
limited.
632 with it,
They're-
I think.
Limited. They're building a limited car
Oh,
out of
okay.
Ryland's Camaro. When they're not running, that's going to be a drag radio car now, so they're going to use the Mustang for index racing.
Joseph Muse, what's up? Jeff Benham, how you doing, buddy?
So calling Brian Lohnes right now. Let's see if he answers. He was online a minute ago. So there he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Brian Lohnes. What up, dude?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Good to talk to you. It's been a while. We've been hit or miss. You've been filming or doing whatever you do. And we've been kind of hit or miss whether we're doing the show because I've been on like extended vacations and shit like that. So
What's up, Brian?
No, it's all good, man. How you doing, Bob?
Doing
So
good.
Bob's over here. My webcam took a crap, so you're just gonna get to look at me unless I turn.
All
it
good.
For you.
Yep. So hey, you got to announce last weekend at the that was the Streetcar Nationals, right?
Yeah, U.S. Street Nationals at Bradenton, man. It was a great race.
How was it to get back in like the drag radio flow of things?
No, it was good, man. The one thing that seems to have come out of that race is if you don't have a car that runs in the low 370s consistently, you're not going to be a player anymore. It's pretty crazy.
Wow.
Very crazy. And then they have the nitrous classes all there too, right?
Yeah, they had they ran the Radio versus the World. They also ran Ultra Street. They ran basically a Pro Nitrous and Pro Boost and then Pro Extreme cars for like kind of an exhibition. Yeah, it was a good race.
Very cool. Very cool. Hey, so we got Lights Out 9 coming. Did you see any of that with Stephanie? Were you watching that before we called you?
Yeah, I was.
In the cameos, she does a great job. She's just an amazing girl. But to have Duck bust in like that, like he's Hacksaw Jim Duggan, that was cool, wasn't it?
No, it was great, man. They people, nobody really knows how much work those guys put into the whole deal. And Stephanie, Duck, Jim, Billy Driscoll, the whole crew, like those guys, it is way more work than anybody knows it is. So it's very cool that you guys recognize them for that. It's awesome.
Yeah.
That's why it's so successful, because they put so much into it, man.
Yeah.
100%. No, it's 100% right. If they did not invest their whole lives into this thing, it would not be what it is today.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And we got to kind of see it from the tower. If you don't ever get to get in the tower and see the commotion that is going on in there during the rounds, you can't understand it.
Right.
Yeah, it's something else. Wade Moody is Wade Moody needs everybody's kind of thoughts and prayers at this point. He's got some medical stuff going on. And Wade's one of the guys that's really important in that race. Wade's one of the guys that puts that. Listen, whatever happened to Wade was probably, Duck X was probably responsible for that.
Yeah, it puts life on his years or whatever.
It's a high stress situation, and I'm only joking around, but we love Wade. He's one of the guys that keeps that race going, and it would be crummy if we did not have him there this year. So I hope he recovers quickly and gets back into the swing of things.
Absolutely. Yeah. So big news: Leah Pritchett gonna have a Don Schumacher ride with Go Army on it, being one of the other. No mention of the Papa Johns. Do you know if they're out, or is this just kind of a shared deal now?
No, it's kind of a shared deal. I think Army kind of expanded their sponsorship. You're going to see Army on, you've seen, Antron Brown always talked about the Army on his car and stuff like that. So, it's more of an expansion. The other thing that a lot of people maybe don't know that Leah is going to be doing this year is running a factory stock showdown car out of Don Schumacher Racing. One of the things that's really interesting about Factory Stock Showdown this year is that Don Schumacher Racing has their own in-house drag pack program, like a full-on effort. They brought in a guy to manage the thing. They have a lot of effort going behind this deal. So, Factory Stock Shootout this year is going to be real interesting. If you look at the entry list on for Gainesville right now, they're already like 25 or 26 cars. Like there'll probably be 36 cars trying to qualify for Factory Stock Showdown when we get to Gainesville. Lee will be on there. Ron Capps, I believe, will be driving one of those cars. Alan Johnson out of Pro Stock, retired from Pro Stock, but is going to run one of those things. So
is Big Daddy still running one of those cars?
Big Daddy has one, but he's never really run it in the NHRA competition. He has one of the first ever drag packs ever made, but he's not ever really been. He's run it like at match races and stuff, but we've never really seen him at an NHRA race.
Yeah, exhibition
stuff. So is Samtech still sponsoring that this year?
Yeah. Samtech sponsoring the class, the Samtech, Factory Stock Showdown. So for them, I think it's awesome because they got in on the ground floor of this whole thing, and it's blowing up all over the place. It's going crazy. So there's going to be a lot of really fast cars. I'm hoping Gainesville is where we see the first 7-second Factory Stock Showdown car.
Yeah.
But something tells me that it's going to happen at a divisional before we get to Gainesville. I think someone's going to run quicker than 8.0, whether it's NMCA or whether it's at a divisional, someone's going to do it.
Yeah, and friend of the show, Judson Massengill is owner of Samtech, but also Austin Ford, who runs the GT500 out of the Samtech stable of cars.
Sure. Yeah, no, it's a ton of one of the things I think is cool is you get a lot of the celebrity drivers kind of coming into the thing, but the reality is those celebrity drivers can get their tails handed to them by some really experienced stock eliminator and super stock drivers. So
Absolutely.
you have the pro kind of heads up people coming into this class, and it is a heads up class, but totally different cars. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Erica's driven one. I think she's going to be driving one at a few races this year too, right?
100%. Yeah. She drives a Copo for Patterson powered Copo for the Elite Patterson Motorsports team. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're going to leave Lights Out 9 and fly straight to Pomona?
Kind of the opposite. So I go to Pomona.
Oh, that's right. That's the weekend before.
Yeah, Pomona, then Lights Out 9. Really excited, man. There's a lot of stuff going on. There was a lot of great cars down in Bradenton testing out, and Dux's. There's a bunch of cars kind of coming out of the woodwork to show up at Lights Out 9 that we've not seen yet. Some import stuff and some different combinations. So, I was talking about it at Bradenton, but at the end of the day, Radial versus the World really is at this point the most exciting class in the sport for the fact that it's virtually unlimited in many ways. It's governed by weights and displacements and all that kind of stuff and power adders. But at the end of the day, you have steel body cars that are able to outrun pro mod style full chassis cars with carbon fiber bodies on them.
Yeah,
and it's nuts. I mean, it's great.
Stock wheelbase Mustangs qualify number 1 at No Mercy. I mean, with a small block in it, that's not supposed to happen.
No, you look at what happened at Bradenton. The Bradenton races to me is cool because that's kind of where, guys test all week, and the deal is if they test all week, then they run in the race on Saturday, and and Sunday and try to, help the track make a couple bucks for having some fans come in. And when you watch these guys just repeat running 72s and 74s, it's like, how fast they're going to go at No Mercy. And, I was talking to a guy this morning, and, we were kind of beating some stuff back and forth. I don't think it's out of the question that someone goes like mid 360s. And if someone does go mid 360s at lights out, it's almost like, it's you have limited drag radial where cars run in the 14s, which is a great class. Like, limited drag radial is awesome. But then you have radial versus the world, and if guys start going 360s in radial versus the world, you cannot take the cars that run 380s and 390s and put them in limited drag radial. So we're getting to that point, man. We're getting to that point where there's going to be a group of people that are just outpacing everybody by a half a mile, but that's the way drag racing works.
Yeah, and are we going to see like the top 5 in X in the 430 range?
It wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me to see a top 5 in X275 that are between 435 and 440, or between 433, 32 and 38, 440. But, to me, X275 has a much more logical kind of evolution to it. LDR has a much, because of and I'm not saying this is a bad way. I'm not saying this as a negative, but when you look at Radial versus the World being what it is, as an uncorked, show up with whatever you can bring kind of class, you're watching like the greatest minds in the sport apply their knowledge to it, and that's why guys are going so fast.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, switching gears back to NHRA for a minute.
Bob, he's the top sportsman Division 4 champion, so he's going to roll us back and calm our nerves a little bit and take us back to NHRA, which I don't mind.
Well, it sucks to see the closing of Englishtown's drag racing portion of their deal, but it was great to see the Franklins get the race at Virginia. What's your take on going back to Virginia?
I'm glad for it. I'm glad that Tommy Franklin obviously is a great businessman. He's a insanely passionate drag racer. Going to appear on the cover of Drag Illustrated with his daughter.
Yeah, that was cool.
I think the one thing that I was hoping for, which actually, and I think a lot of people were hoping for when this happened, was like Englishtown, drops this bomb on everybody, and then the same thing that me and you and everybody else did was like, so where else can we go? And the NHRA's first statement was they were just basically gonna have a 23 race season, and then all of a sudden, I'm thinking, man, there's this track in Virginia, and thankfully, like, Tommy outthought all of us. The second that announcement came out, Tommy was burning up the phone lines to Glendora, and I have not been there for a long time. The last time I was at VMP was like back probably 2005, 2006 for some IHRA stuff. But it's a great racetrack, and the weird connection between VMP and my home track at Epping, New Hampshire is that the grandstand that was if you're looking down the racetrack, the grandstand that was on the right side of the track was actually torn down and sold to New England Dragway, which became their main grandstand for the national event that they have. So kind of a weird scenario there, but NHRA hasn't been there for a few years, so it made sense for them at that point to kind of jettison some of that stuff. I think Tommy Franklin is the right man for the job. I think that there's a lot of work to do in terms of, they're basically going to replace the racing surface and do a bunch of stuff, but I love it. I love the fact we're going back to a place that wants to have us back, so that's cool.
Very cool. So you started your announcing career up there. Was it at New England Dragway, or where was it at?
Yeah, I started announcing drag races when I was like 18 years old. The first place I started announcing at was Lebanon Valley Dragway, which is in Eastern New York, and almost at the same time I started working at Epping. So I was like working at Lebanon Valley Dragway on like Friday nights, and I'd work at Epping on Saturday and Sunday and drive back to college. So, but New England Dragway is my home. Like New England Dragway I spent 10, 12 years working at. I used to sleep in the tower during the week. But yeah, New England Dragway is my home.
That's awesome. But you've announced at Englishtown probably 100 times, huh?
Yeah, a bunch. I'm not 100 times, but I've been there a bunch over the years. And yeah, it's unfortunate. Like it's, Lewis Bloom with NHRA is like Englishtown's his home racetrack. Like that's a place like his connection to Englishtown is the same connection I have to Epping or New England Dragway, and the fact that we grew up there, we kind of began our careers there. You you meet people, you screw up, you love the place, you hate the place. It's just like it's who you are. So the Englishtown thing is tough, man. It's that place was, at least on the East Coast, like that was our Indy. Like Englishtown, for those of us on the East Coast, is our Indy.
Yeah.
And I understand that. I understand that the business decision that the Knapp family made to go, to do the deal where you get offered $75 million. You're not going to say no to it, but it still sucks.
Yeah, it does.
No
And
doubt.
I remember in the Fun Ford days and stuff when all the shootouts for the Mustangs were there. That was where all the records were set because it was mine shaft air when they would go in February or whenever.
Sure.
Whenever they could get the track open in March or whatever, and that was when they had all those shootouts and fun Mustangs like just dominated up there.
Yeah.
Well, and again, like the Mustang thing was badass, and then the other thing I remember too is like the shakedown. We talk about Lights Out 8, we talk about No Mercy, we talk about all these kind of races, but in the shakedown, which is now obviously at Summit Motorsports Park, but the shakedown started at Englishtown, and it was a fall race, and it was always cold, and my God, it was the place that everybody went fast. Like that, the shakedown was, in my opinion, the blueprint for what has become the Lights Out, the U.S. Street Nationals. Like those races, I'm not saying anybody copied anybody else, but what the shakedown did was provided a place for everybody to understand like just how awesome this could be if you put the right cars in the right conditions and let them rip. It was great, and the shakedown at E-Town was David Hance. That was David Hance's race for years,
David Hance did a
God love
great
that guy
job.
because he's done a lot to foster this door slammer stuff.
Yeah.
But that was badass, man. Some guys I knew went down there and would compete at it. We'd all be rooting for him because that was like the deep end of the pool, man. That was crazy stuff down there.
Yep. So, what do you think you're gonna see? So give us a little preview of NHRA 2018. What's the biggest thing that you think is going to be talked about?
Well, I think there's a couple things. The first thing I think is factory stock showdown. Now that NHRA is like separated completely from stock, you have like it's not like we're going to run stock class eliminations and then run the factory stock showdown cars. Like these things have kind of built themselves into their own awesome category. So if you look at the entry list for Gainesville, there's already like 25, 26 cars on it. So it's going to be awesome. I think other stories are, there are 18 funny cars on the sheet right now for in funny car for Pomona. There's going to be 17 or 18 pro stocks on there. I think Top Fuel Dragster will probably have 17 or 18 entries at Pomona, but I think by the time we get to Gainesville, you're looking at races with 22, 23 entries on it. There is going to be an uptick in car counts this year. I know there's a lot of people that think that that NHRA is dying and everything's falling to pieces, but that really isn't the case. There's some nitro stuff going on that is very positive in terms of additional cars. Rumor has it, I don't know who's going to drive it, but the rumor is that Don Schumacher Racing is going to bring out a fourth Top Fuel Dragster this year, trying to work on finding out who's driving that thing. But
It's me.
there's
I wasn't
positive
supposed to
momentum,
say.
man. There's things happening.
So, the change in headers for funny car.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Well, I really wanted to see one of those sons of bitches go 340 last year. I can tell you that right now.
But they can't drive the things, man.
Yeah, well, and there are some guys that said if you complain about where the headers are at, like you're not a driver, and there are other guys that said if you don't complain about where the headers are at, you're on a suicide mission. But I think I don't know. I hope what has traditionally happened in drag racing happens here, where you give a little back. You give a little back as far as the headers go, and the crew chiefs figure out the other way to go fast. But
Yeah,
I think for at least, I'm going to say from Pomona to Gainesville, at least from Pomona first qualifying session to Gainesville first qualifying session, no one's going to be close to running that 339. By the time we get to, say, Virginia, I think somebody's going to be tickling with it. It just things never really go backwards, in my opinion, in drag racing for that long. Like, no matter how much the rules change or what things change, and I think history shows this, you can put a bunch of roadblocks in front of these guys, but they will eventually figure out a way to go faster.
Well, that's what they're paid to do. Or that's
Yeah,
what-
no, 100%.
Yeah. So the crew chiefs and the teams, there's more R&D in some of these cars than there is in current F1 cars. If you want to go there,
there's a lot of money spent, man. A lot of money.
Yeah. Yep.
Very cool. So, have you flipped open your 2018 calendar yet and counted how many days you're booked so far?
Yeah, it's all of them.
Have you got 50? So Melissa Carter texted me because we were having this discussion whether there was 52 or 53 weekends in a year, and it's 52 unless there's a leap year.
Okay.
So how many weekends are you booked already?
Honestly, if I looked, it's the vast majority. I mean, it's nature of the business, right? We race on the weekends, so if you're gonna go out there and make a living at it, that's where you're gonna work. But no, it's good, man. There's a bunch of stuff going on, and I think this is a really interesting time in drag racing. I think you look at PDRA, you look at what Duck's doing, you look at a bunch of independent promoters out there and other events that are going on. There's more opportunity to race right now and do what you want. Like, there's more opportunities to race in the way you want to race right now than ever before. Like, you don't just have to go run a super stock car or a stock eliminator car or a .90 car or radioverse. There is so many freaking classes, and mod motor nationals, all this stuff. Like, there's so many friggin' races for everybody to do stuff.
Top
it's
sportsman.
Crazy.
Bob says top sportsman.
Yeah, well, exactly. Like, again, Top Sportsman was one of the great stories of the entire history of the sport. Like, that class bubbled up and has become just a massive. Yeah.
Yeah, it has. And hey, to be the Division 4 champion is a big thing.
Yep.
It's no easy task.
No, it's insane. It put Bob in the hospital.
I know, right?
It was so hard. It was so hard. He was hospitalized after winning the deal.
After getting out of the hospital, I wouldn't eat nothing but white rice all the way till the banquet, so I wouldn't miss the damn thing.
Absolutely, man.
White rice and scrambled eggs.
So the last episode of Put Up or Shut Up was some really cool event with some dirt track cars, the stock versus the modifieds. I watched that thing. It was really cool seeing those modifieds just killing it. Yeah. But so when's the next episode air, and what is it about?
Okay, so the next episode is actually not going to air till May. Okay. So we have they changed our season a little bit. So like they have a bunch of shows that are airing like on the first half of the year. So our show is going to be a second half of the year show. So our first episode is going to air in May for the second season, and we're going to start shooting stuff in about February 1st. So we're going to start shooting stuff in about a month, and we have a bunch of episodes lined up to shoot. Some really insanely badass stuff that I will talk about when we actually do it. But we have some stuff lined up like that is drag racing related that is like legitimately the badass thing you've ever heard. So I can't wait to do it.
That's awesome. You guys come up with some of the coolest things, and I know that this is when you're all alone time in the mornings when you're in your morning constitution or on the plane or something like that. You come up with some of this crazy shit. Tell us about the new thing that's going on at Tucson, February. It's the Hoopty Drags.
Yeah. So like Roadkill,
which is amazing,
has had these events called the Zip Tie Drags, and during the Zip Tie Drags, they run something called the $3,000 Hoopty Challenge, and basically what it is you show up and you claim that my car is worth $3,000 or less, and whether it is or it isn't is up to the judge to decide. So Facebook, Facebook has this new Facebook Watch deal. So Facebook Watch has decided that they want this to be a show. So Freiberger and I are going to host this thing, and we're going to shoot 6 episodes of this show down at Tucson Dragway. And the whole thing is a heads-up drag race, all based around cars that are shit boxes that are worth worth $3,000 or less. But if you bring a car that's worth $11,000 and dress it up and make it look horrendous and trick us into believing that it's worth $3,000, perfect. Like, that's what it's all about. It's all about.
So that you're encouraging that you're not going to crush them like 24 Hours of Lemons does.
No, we will not. We will not drop a wrecking ball on top of them. But we're there to look at the stuff and go, wait a second. You got a billet center section in this thing. This is not a $3,000 car.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
That's awesome, man. Hopefully, I can make it out for one of those. So you're gonna that's gonna tie up 6 of your weekends this year too.
Yeah, a bunch of time, man. We're gonna try to be economical is how we shoot them. But Tucson's hosting that thing, and we just put out the notice kind of went out today about the whole thing's going on, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a cool show. I think it's going to be fun. I think we're going to show off a lot of really unique like backyard built, like backyard kind of hot rodded cars. So
yeah,
it's cool, man. It's just, again, we talked about this, but it's like, it's another proof of just how drag racing is everywhere right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got classes for like nitrous bombs and junkyard turbos.
Frankenstein class, junkyard turbo, junkyard LS swap, nitrous bombs. Yeah. So we have the ability to kind of separate this stuff within, its own category. If you show up with a Chrysler Slant 6 with 350 horse with a nitrous strap to it, we're probably going to send you through just to see what happens. Yeah.
I love it. So tell us about this Facebook view thing.
Yeah, well, Facebook Watch is like, if you're looking at Facebook, there's like the little icon that looks like a television set at the bottom of your screen. And Facebook Watch is basically like they're like Amazon and Netflix and everybody in YouTube. They're Facebook is basically wanting to produce their own content. They want to have
real
television series, quote unquote, that'll run on Facebook only. And this is an idea that was pitched to them, and they liked it, and they decided that they wanted to do it because they've not seen it, how big a shit show it is. So once they see how big a shit show it is, who knows what happens next?
No, that's going to be even better. It's going to be viral. It's going to go viral, and y'all are going to be the most famous thing in the world.
That's going to be awesome.
So Discovery 10 and Motor Trend on Demand, like Discovery bought everything, didn't they? Peterson Publishing, everything.
The Discovery thing is a big deal. They, obviously Discovery Channel bought what is known as 10 Studios. They're all the operation that produces all the Motor Trend on Demand shows. You're going to see over the next couple of months some stuff change as far as what's on YouTube and what's on Motor Trend on Demand. But
they
bought the whole thing, man. They bought it, and there are, if you watch Barrett Jackson, you can't get away from the fact that they just there was every 2 seconds there was an ad for Motor Trend on Demand, which for me I'm like, oh, that's me. That's cool. I love that. Keep doing that. Yeah. But it was a good deal. It's. For me, I'm a guy I fell into a lot of this stuff, so I think it's positive. I think I think it's a neat deal.
Well, if you go to Motor Trend on Demand now, and I just did this the other day to watch that episode before the show. Now, Fast and Loud is an original. Street Outlaws is on there. Overhauling. Yeah. Street Outlaws New Orleans episodes are on there. Junkyard Wheelers and Dealers is on there. Roadkill, Engine Masters. Some of the originals that have been on there. But then they added everything that's on Discovery Channel.
Cool.
Yeah, for it's $4 a month. That's the. I'm not the pitch man, but I'm just saying you pay $4 a month for a lot worse crap. If you pay $4 a month to subscribe to Motor Trend on Demand, you could watch it every day and see something different. That's cool. You know what I mean? So it's to me, it's a no-brainer. They have so much stuff on there. I'm not saying ditch your television or anything, but for $4 a month. When you're at work and you have lunch hour and you can just sit there and stare out the window, you can watch some cool stuff every day.
Absolutely. And, it's the Netflix for car people.
That's 100% right. That's literally, that is the best way to say it. It is actually that. Netflix for car people. You can pick and choose what you want to see. Steve Bignante's show, Junkyard Gold, to me is one of the best shows on there. The guy knows everything, and he goes through these old wrecking yards and he finds these just really cool cars and kind of breaks down what they are, what they could be, and there's so much neat stuff on there, including, again, like you said, Street Outlaws. All the big Discovery shows have showed up there as well. So for a guy like me that makes a dumb show that I get to come up with the ideas with, this is the best thing that ever happened, because there's good shows that'll make people watch my dumb show. So that's the best thing.
I love it, man. And it just shows that. If you still want your TV, you just get the little thing and plug your phone in HDMI into your TV and watch that shit on your screen at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no real that's the thing. There's no rocket science to it anymore. You can watch really high quality, awesome television or awesome web programming by plugging your phone into your TV. There's no real rocket science to it. It's just done.
Yeah. Exactly. So it's just a great day. It's a great time for. People say, well, the good old days. This is the freaking good old days when you can watch shit on your phone. I mean, come on. Listen,
man. There's drag racing right now on television, right? There's drag racing on television every Monday night. Millions of people watch it, and then the new one airs on Tuesday night, right? So millions of people watch that.
Wednesday night.
And then you have Then you got the NHRA show that when we get to Pomona, you got millions of people watching that thing from Friday to Sunday afternoon. It's like, there's a lot of old guys that sit at home and talk about how drag racing is dying, and I literally want to hit all those guys with a shovel, because the reality is, when those guys were kids, the only way you saw drag racing on television was once, twice, maybe 3 times a year. You watched it on Wide World of Sports, or you waited for it to show up on American Sports Cavalcade. I was a kid of the 80s. I grew up in the 1980s. I would watch American Sports Cavalcade every Sunday. But when I was 8 or 9 years old, there was only 12 or 13 national events a year. So it wasn't every week. It was every couple of weeks, and then it would be on American Sports Cavalcade. Maybe it was on NBC. Maybe it was on ABC. Now every frickin' week you can watch NHRA drag racing, but every week outside of that, and every week of the year, you can watch Street Outlaws New Orleans, Street Outlaws Memphis, Street Outlaws frickin' Alaska, whatever you want to watch.
Street Outlaws No Prep Kings.
Right, No Prep Kings,
yes. Yeah. So, it's amazing time, dude. Bob, you got anything else for Brian?
Nope. I think we want to thank Nitrous Outlet for letting us have the time to speak with Brian, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Good job.
Yeah, those guys are awesome, man. Nitrous Outlet's great. Vassar and those guys are killer.
Yep. So did you see my video with J.D. Campbell running some 40s?
I did.
With his,
I did.
With his off-the-shelf plate kit.
That was great, man.
Yeah. It's going to be a great time, man. I'm looking forward to being back in Valdosta for Lights Out coming up.
You bet. I will see you down there in a couple weeks, brother.
Absolutely, man. And then you got a lot of good stuff going on. The Roadkill Nights is coming up, and when's that?
That's in August.
August, yeah. Yep, got that coming up. And I'm going to be doing the Clarcraft Magazine's Midnight Drags in July. So lots of...
Yeah, great event down at Bowling Green, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Going to be part of the Summer Nationals car show now.
Sweet. No, that's cool, man. Bowling Green, Kentucky, great racetrack. I like to call that place drag racing version of Fenway Park, man. It's all green. The grandstands are covered. It's cool.
Yep, absolutely. So cool. Well, hey, thanks for coming on. We'll try to get you on next week, and then maybe we'll do a Skype into Bob and Monahan together from the tower of South Georgia Motorsports Park on the Tuesday of Lights Out.
Sweet.
So,
sounds good.
Cool deal, man. All right, dude. Thanks for coming on, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks, dude.
Good job.
Thanks, man.
All right.
Have a good night, guys.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, dude. Hey, man, that guy, we could just do a whole show talking to Brian Lohnes.
We could, huh?
Yep.
He's a wealth of knowledge.
I kind of understand, I can recall a lot of things about cars on the fly when I'm announcing, but that guy can recall everything about every car when he's announcing or when he's doing an interview like that.
He's a true pro.
It's a, there's people that have photographic memories, and I think he's one of them. That can just.
Monahan says he's in.
In it, yep. Monahan will be filling in. So when I'm at Valdosta, but hey, man, good job tonight. Look at this. We're 3 minutes out. We got 3 minutes to thank our sponsors: Nitrous Outlet, Mosier Engineering, Phil's Trailer Sales. I'm waiting to hear back. They got lots of stuff going. Man, they're so busy at Phil's Trailer Sales that that they just they've just full up of great trailers, but they've been selling them like crazy just after the beginning of the year.
Da Vinci Carburetors.
Yeah, Da Vinci Carburetors.
And of course, Westside Chevrolet for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. Westside Chevrolet. Michael, where are you at?
Speed Lab Customs.
Go to the Thunder Roadshow page and put the links to Kenjo's car and the... Yeah, I was texting him when I was talking to Brian to put the links in the comments.
I think Kenjo's son is on here watching.
So what's up, Kenjo Jr.? So that's going to be interesting. So I'm going to do a $20 bet with Stephanie Sapp, and I'm taking my boy Kenjo. She's taking Stevie Fast. Kenjo gets the back tires, $2,000 on $10,000. So Kenjo's putting up $2,000, and Stevie's putting up 10. And Stevie thinks he's going to take him. Man, if Stevie spins...
No, dude, I think you're misunderstanding. It's locked in 2,000 for 10.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's what he meant. 2 on 10.
2 on 10? Okay, so he's locking in 2,000.
He's not doing funny money. He didn't say that.
Oh. He's not doing... do what, Mike? A link to the... Copy link and then post it in.
Yeah. Just put it in there later. We'll just edit that in later.
Yeah, right? So, hey, big shout out to Brian Stewart, who did a great job.
Feeling much better. Good job,
Yeah,
Brian.
he looks better.
He brought us all some sauerkraut.
Oh yeah, he brought sauerkraut in, and I forgot it was coming.
I checked it. It's good.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I got a whole
homemade
jar.
sauerkraut from Cold Spring. Is that where you live, Brian? No, Cat Springs. Cold Spring is way up there.
Yeah, wrong end.
Yeah. So I know that Patterson, our buddy Thomas Patterson's taking, Pedersen. He's taking like 5 cars to the lights out.
Thomas Patterson
Yes, Patterson.
and his Swedish friend Stefan Peterson
Yes, that's what it is. So, yeah.
is
So
driving
James
one of them
Yeah.
and tuning several of them.
And James Kay's driving one of them.
James K?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think James Kay's going to be down there driving.
They
one
got
of
a
the-
fleet,
They got
man.
a Pro Charge car now that James is going to drive.
Cool.
Then they have the Chevy 2, that they run limited, I guess, or
The Chevy 2 runs in X.
X. Okay.
They have a black Camaro that runs in 632.
Yeah, they're not. I don't know if they're. Yeah, I think they are
They have a
taking that.
blue Camaro that I think is going to run
Limited.
X. Or
I think
limited.
they got a limited car.
Yeah.
Billy Stockland's going to have his limited car there.
Cool. With Mike Terry driving?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So lots of big stuff going on, but yeah, they're going to have like Thomas is better paid for like the $20,000 row, like of 5 cars to get them together.
They're gonna
gonna
need
be
some
in the-
space.
Yeah, that's going to be cool, man. It's going to
Yeah.
be a fun deal. I wish. I mean, I'm glad I got hired to do the Valentine's Day race, but it's going to be hard to leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's going to be so much going on.
You had to do that last year at the.
Yeah, I had to come back
No
home
Mercy.
from No Mercy and
Yep.
do the Dig Night relief race at HMP. So lots of stuff going on. But yeah, you know what? I'm glad to be working and glad that Jason Cantu and those guys are putting on a good small tire event down there at Edinburgh, and it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be a lot of fun with Chuck Seitsinger to hosting it.
Yep. And sorry we couldn't get him on. I guess he was too busy with the filming stuff.
Well, you know what? Let's check with him. We'll text him if he replies. We'll call him, or we'll Skype him.
Yeah.
We'll give him 2 minutes. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're pretty much
late.
out of time. So, but anyway, Chuck Seitsinger doing the. He's the race master for Street Outlaws, No Prep Kings, which is going to be the February 9th and 10th at South Carolina. So go check that out if you're in the South Carolina area. And he's the race master of the Valentine's Day Massacre, the 17th at Edinburgh Motorsports Park. And then we got
We got a guy watching from Peru.
Peru.
How cool is that? That is awesome.
That's cool, man.
Lima.
Peru. I don't even know where that is. Is that down by? Is
Huh?
Peru down by the canal? What do they call that?
Below Panama.
Panama. It's down below Panama.
South
Very
America.
cool. All right, guys. Well, hey, thanks for tuning in to the Thunder Road Show. Go share it. Rewatch it if you missed Donald Long's exploits.
That was great.
Stephanie Sapp did a great job, even though she got like bum rushed by the Donald,
Yep.
the duck. So lots of stuff going on. But hey, thanks for tuning in our Thursday episode of the Thunder Road Show. We'll be back next Tuesday, as long as Brian didn't get the bug flu or you get any issues, or I
Yep.
get. As long as I decide to show up, someone's gonna.
Thought
be
you
here.
wasn't going to be here.
No, I'll be here next Tuesday. Is the Tuesday after.
Oh,
that.
Tuesday after his lights out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
So hey,
Thunder
thanks
Road
for
Show.
We're out.
Out.